As an introduction to this video and to give some context for why this car is so important, I made my way all the way from Buffalo, New York to Los Angeles, specifically to go visit the Peterson Museum, more specifically to go see Bob Peterson's personal Cisitalia 202 Coupe. Now, this isn't the first one he had. We actually don't know where his original one is. Apparently he acquired this later on, but the moral of the story is still the same here. So the question is, why is Bob Peterson's Cisitalia so important to the car you're going to see here? Well, without it, this car wouldn't exist, nor would a couple others. Bob Peterson had this purchased overseas, and he had it shipped to America, specifically the Commons in Boston, Massachusetts, and he sent one of his guys, Bill Pollock, to retrieve it. He didn't send him with a trailer, he didn't send him with transport, he sent Bill to drive it cross-country from Boston to LA, which is actually covered in depth by this great article in Auto Speed and Sport magazine from September 1952, which was actually written by Bill himself. It was not an easy journey, as you might imagine. We are in the golden age of these sports cars, but that comes with everything else you'd expect: pitfalls, problems, etc. Bill found himself driving an Italian sports car through a lot of rural America, which didn't make finding parts all that easy when things broke down. He had things go wrong, like spokes in the Barani wire wheels, braking. Now, the car was a little worse for the wear, as you might imagine, and at the time, Bill Burke was working for Bob Peterson. Now, you'll probably recognize Bill Burke's name for a number of reasons, but probably most notably as the father of the belly tank streamliner. Bill Burke really pioneered streamliners at the dry lakes, specifically starting at El Mirage, by taking the drop tanks from World War II planes and converting them into streamlined, often flathead-powered dry lakes racers. Now, his original dry lake racer was unfortunately parted out, lost. Maybe it's still out there. We're not entirely sure on that point either. But Jeff actually took it upon himself many years ago to recreate it when Bill was still alive, and Bill actually had quite a heavy hand in directing Jeff on all the little and big things he did for an accurate replication. Now, back to where Bill Burke comes in with the story with Peterson. He was working for Bob Peterson at the time. So the car arrives in LA. Peterson then tells Bill Burke, go take it to George Barris of Barris Customs. He hatched a plan. He was going to take a splash mold of the car. He was interested in the aerodynamics of it because with his experience racing at the dry lakes, he saw the Cisitalia 202 as a really great aerodynamic car, and then went on to actually build one of his own and race it there. While the car was in for repairs at Barris's shop, he took a splash mold of it, made a copy for himself, and then went into business with Mickey Thompson, yes, that Mickey Thompson, and Roy Kinch, and the three of them created the Atlas Allied Fiberglass Company. And that was the company that produced these bodies, of which they made somewhere between 20 and 25, which actually makes it rarer than the Cisitalia that it is a copy of, which they produced about 170 of between 1947 and 1952. It wasn't just the Atlas Swallow that was birthed by Peterson's Cisitalia, but actually the Victress C2 and C3 in a big way. Now, this was a small club of these fiberglass guys, largely located in California, and as you'll remember, Victress manufacturing was also in California. So Bill Burke actually brought one of his Allied Swallows over to Victress for some repairs, and they agreed to do it as long as they could make a copy of their own, which was done by our very own Merrill Powell, who turned 94 years old this year and is still going strong. He's really one of the only guys left from that era, an incredible resource and just such an incredible, kind guy. So if you're pulling up photos of the Allied Swallow next to a Victress C2 or C3, you'll see that there is some resemblance, but really not a lot. When we talked to Merrill about this, what he had actually done is he took a splash mold of the copy, layered clay on top of it, and sculpted back to get to what he ultimately created for the Victress C2, C3. And when we talked to Merrill and we said, hey, how much of the Cisitalia is left over in your own design? He pointed to an area just at the crown of the roof above the center line of the front windshield and said, just about this much, so not very much. Really, the C2 and C3 is an original design, but without Bill Burke taking that risk by taking a splash mold of Peterson's car, going out and creating his own fiberglass car company, we might never have actually gotten the Victress C2 and C3. Something to keep in mind about this video, there is so much footage that Jeff has in the archives of past adventures. This one is actually 10 years ago. So the camera work, a little shaky. The audio, I did my best. Please be patient with it because this is recording tech that is now a decade old. Jeff always says he'd rather be lucky than good, and that definitely was at play when he was able to acquire this car 10 years ago. You see, he was doing research about these cars, and he happened to see one advertised in the back of a Road and Track magazine from 1957. Turns out the car never sold, and it was still owned by the same seller. So fast forward to 2014, Jeff is able to get a hold of them, and voila, this car had been basically entombed in this garage for the better part of a half century. He was able to get it out of there with Rick DeLuey at the time, and they actually reunited it with the original builder, Hal Thompson, who Jeff, of course, tracked down and did an interview with, who is part of this video as well.
December 6th, 2014, and we're with Tony Spalvieri, is that right? And we're here in Niles, Ohio, in his garage. When did you put this car in the garage, Tony? How long ago? We found the ad from 1957. Has it been in the garage since then, or?
No, it's been probably probably around 58 or 59, maybe 60.
Okay. Well, let's go see. Hasn't been touched really since then, right?
No.
Okay, so we're gonna, and it's still undercover in perfect shape. There's no dust or anything, right?
Still undercover in perfect shape.
All right. Now it's been protected by a nice garage. Oh, we got Rick here. All right, Mr. Rick, smile for the camera.
Hey.
But we don't have much light, although this is not too bad. Here it is. We have this an Allied Swallow or Allied Cisitalia in their garage here from before I was born. It's been here. And it's in really actually very nice shape for all these years. We'll do some more shooting here. I hope is there a light? No light that I can see. We've got, all right, light through the window. We've got the garage door open. First time in probably 50 years. No lights or power in the garage, but we are able to shoot. Rick, how's it look inside there?
It was remarkably well preserved.
Here, let me see. Not sure they can hear you.
Yeah.
Go ahead. How's it look?
It's untouched in many years.
Let's see here.
It's actually remarkable.
We'll do some more when we get it. Oh, it's a beautiful dashboard.
Yeah.
Unusual steering wheel.
I mean, it's amazing. There's not the mildew you would expect in other places and so on. It's
Let's see if it's in gear. Now, some of the wheels are spinning, right? But not.
yeah, the left rear wheel.
We got the garage open. You walk out.
It'll probably need blocks or something on that jet. I don't know if that.
We brought some blocks along, Tony.
Pardon?
We brought some blocks. We have. There we go. Maybe it'll start up. Get that battery going. Put some gas in it.
The key in the ignition.
I don't know.
Because if it's not there, I don't know where it's in.
There's no key for this car, Rick. Do we still want it?
I think so.
All right.
Actually,
I pulled from the bottom of the door. That's what I did. Oh, nice red interior. I don't even see an ignition. Oh, there's keys in ignition. I see the key in the ignition. There we go.
There you go.
Okay, well, okay, we will buy it.
that was the clincher right there.
We will get it.
I
No key, get it.
You can't start it without a key.
We've got the garage door open. And we're trying to air the tires up. Car is still on blocks. See what this is. There we go. I wonder if we can turn the lights on this thing too. Maybe not. There you go.
You're able to get some air into that other one.
Okay.
The valve stem leaks a bit, but it's. So let's see. This one leads here.
Unusual steering wheel.
Yeah, what we don't need to do here is take that cap off.
Let's see here. Three of the four tires roll.
Jeff, do you have a better pair of pliers?
What if you come in from
These-
this side here?
Well, these keep slipping out of
The channel.
But if you come right straight in, then you're gonna think. You're coming in.
Okay. Well, we're out of the garage here. Let's actually back up. you'll see that we are. Tony and Rick and I all pushed the sucker out. We had a brake-free one brake drum, which was relatively easy. We're going to load it in the trailer here shortly. Oh, okay, good. And I'm going to put it on the trailer here, but by the time we get back to Tampa, Florida, since we're going to Detroit next, car will probably be clean. There we go. A little bit of interesting stuff here. Okay, handmade steering wheel by Hal, and we'll sign in a little bit. This one is a 1953 Meteor. It's actually a factory SR1, one of two factory cars built that we're aware of. This one was built by Larry Jones in 55. And this car was built in Niles, Ohio in 1955 as well by Hal. I have to get his name again. Hal Thompson, I think, but I've got to look it up. We're going to try to contact him this week. He's down here in Florida where I live. I just thought it might be kind of fun to shoot both. A little bit here. Not the most professional video, but a little bit sense of what you got here.
Give me some questions and I'll give you some answers.
All right, well, let me just... Okay, what is today? Today's the 29th? 29th, yeah, October 29th, 2015. And I'm with Hal Thompson, who built this really cool Allied Cisitalia Swallow. Did you ever have a name for the car, Hal?
No.
No name for the car? What did you call it when you got to just get in the car? You did a beautiful.
I never gave it a personal name.
Okay, well, you did a beautiful job on the car. It's all original. It's been in a garage at your friend's house, Tony Spalvieri, for since 1957 or so, about 50 or 60 years. Yeah. Now, how long did it take you to build this car?
It probably was at least 6 months.
Okay, 6 months. And look at the interesting appointments you've got. It looks like almost a stainless steel dash, but maybe aluminum.
It is. No, it is stainless. I got that from Van Huffel Tube. I used to work at Van Huffel Tubing there in Warren.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a piece of stainless I got from the shop.
Ah, and I noticed the gauges look like you hand painted the gauges Stuart Warner.
Yes.
Do you remember that? Because I on the left I can see Stuart Warner gauges, and then on the big gauges I'm like,
the MG. Those are MG gauges repainted.
But you put the SW on them too.
Yeah.
And I love.
And then I got the altimeter. See, I've always been a flyer, so I put the altimeter in there and the compass, and of course the motor meter for the vacuum.
Oh, okay. How would you use the vacuum on that when you were monitoring it, driving it?
Oh, if you put the needle on the green, keep it on the green, you get the best mileage.
Okay, so you were using it as mileage to try to get good mileage out of the...
Yeah, basically.
I love the little radio. Very few of these hand-built cars had radios in them.
Yeah, I did put a Motorola in there.
Well, I love the upholstery. You were telling me something earlier about the upholstery here.
Upholster. I brought this car to him. The inside is very, very rough.
Uh-huh.
They did not finish the inside well at all. And when I brought this car to the upholster, he says, well, how am I going to put upholstery in this? I says, I don't know. He says it's going to be very expensive. So I don't remember how much I paid, but it was very expensive.
Well, you put a headliner in?
The whole thing, headliner, dash pad, and door panels, and the back. And as I look at it, it's still a job.
It's in very nice shape.
For what he had to work with.
Is the carpeting original too? It looks like the carpeting's original.
Yes.
Okay.
He did the carpet and the back pads, yeah.
Cool.
I'm amazed at how good the upholstery still looks.
I'm going to open up the other door. We're going to walk around here for a sec.
Okay.
You do that. You can stay right there, Tony. Or Tony. I mean, Tony is your friend that had the car for all the years. Okay, there we go. There we go. I can see it too. Looks like I think for you and for if we were to drive the car, we'd have to move the steering wheel in a little bit.
It doesn't go well, just a little bit, not much. There's not much of adjustment there.
I love the instrumentation and the mirror and everything that you got on here. And I guess you put the antenna. That's right. I think up top.
Oh, that is a Hudson antenna.
Hudson antenna. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, tell me.
Yeah, only the Hudson had a center antenna like that.
How long has it been since you sat in the car? What year was it last, do you think?
Oh, my gosh. I haven't sat in it since 1950, at least 55.
Wow. Now, the steering wheel is so neat. How did you get the idea for that?
I bought a. Well,
That's one
my
thing.
idea. I bought a piece of 3/4 inch plexiglass, sawed it out, filed it, polished it, and I designed it. I'm an aircraft. I mean, I've always been in an airplane, so I designed it as an aircraft wheel. That's
Neat.
the aircraft wheels have flat tops.
Had you ever seen
No, I've never seen one like it. No.
or any clear steering wheels?
Mine, no.
Okay.
No, just my idea. It's held up very well.
Yeah, it's beautiful, actually. A little bit of crazing, but it's been inside that garage for so long. Are these seats original, or did the upholstery shop?
These are original MG seats.
Okay. That's
They are probably leather. And he matched the upholstery up pretty close.
Yeah, I think he did a beautiful job. It definitely is worth saving. The original fiberglass work, it's all still here.
Very crude. Very crude. Altimeter. Vacuum gauge. Yeah.
What year were you born, Al?
Born 1934.
So what year did you start building this car?
I think I was 19.
Okay.
I think those pictures, I had to be about 19 years old.
Which would be 53, 54, something.
What happened? How did you get your idea about building this car? Did something happen?
All right. You got time for a story?
Yeah. How did you end up choosing this body? What did you have an MG to begin with?
I was looking through Road and Track magazine and found that body advertised. Saw the profile and I said, man, I love that design.
Neat.
And how I happened to put it on an MG chassis.
Mm-hmm.
I flipped over and I bought an MGTD new.
What year?
53.
Okay.
And on the way to work one day, I flipped it over on some wet pavement, actually completely upside down.
Wow.
I had to crawl out from under it. And it messed the body up real bad. I didn't have any serious injuries, a few bruises. And so I had a good chassis with a bad body. I bought a second. Now, what is the title on this? What title?
I'd have to go back and look at it.
It's probably a 52.
Okay.
I think, but don't hold me to it. So I bought another MG that had been wrecked, but it had the good body that I needed. So I rebuilt my car, my roadster, back to stock car. I had an extra chassis. So that's why I bought this Allied body to put on the second MG chassis.
When did you start building this car, do you think? What year?
52, into 52, 53.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then you started, how long did you keep it before you sold it to Tony?
I believe I drove it for 2 or 3 years.
How did you, when you found the magazine ads in the back of Road and Track, but did you call up and you remember, did you have to write to him or?
Of course, I called up Florida, talked to him on the phone, made the arrangements, sent him the money, and it arrived by railroad to the railroad station. I'm in a boxcar.
Neat. Did you consider any other bodies at the time or just this one?
No, just this particular one.
What did you like about the Allied?
Look at that fastback. I love fastbacks. You know, the Crossfire today really turns me on. You know?
The Chrysler Crossfire?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, that Crossfire. Very, some similarity. You know, the rear deck. But it actually, this is, to me, it's got the lines of an aircraft.
That's very streamlined. Yeah, very streamlined. Beautiful.
And since I've always been a flyer, even back then, I bought my first airplane in high school. And I've been flying ever since.
Wow, so you were already flying by the time you built this car?
Yes.
Gotcha. That's neat. Did you ever build another special like this, or this was the only one?
The only special I built. I built a lot of cars, rebuilt a lot of cars.
Yeah.
This is the only special.
It's very, very nice. How did you choose the color and so forth, the interior?
It's not my color. Anthony repainted that.
Oh, what was your color?
It was originally maroon.
Okay. So there's maroon under there somewhere.
Yep. Yes. Yeah, Anthony he had to have done it.
Well, you said it was an accident. Off camera, you told me. Go ahead and tell me what happened. This car, you were driving it one day and then something happened with the fuel line?
It was in the wintertime. Snow was banked up both sides of the road, so I couldn't pull off the road. I pulled over as far as I could off the wheel tracks, and the gas line froze up.
Okay.
what happened. And I was laying under the back of the car to blow out the gas line, and a car was coming up behind me, and there was just barely enough room to get around without getting in the snowbank. And I kept laying under there, kept working. The car come up alongside, drove around, and it kept on going. Then I saw a pickup truck coming, and he was coming awful fast. So I got out from under the car and stood to one side, and he didn't go around it. He went through it, and right into the back of the car, completely wiped out the front end of that pickup truck, and it pushed his body in the back and pushed it in, I don't know, 10, 12 inches, and he knocked it way up the road. And when I got up to the car, I couldn't even find any damage. It popped right back out again, and it just had a little crack. You know, once you crack the gel coat.
I know. Well, explain some of the cracking I see here, because it was unusual. It's got a crack here.
Yep. See, that's where it cracked the gel coat.
Interesting.
When they ran into the back.
Yeah, because it's cracked there.
Yes.
I thought there was one other one in the back too. Oh, there's some cracking down here. It's spider cracking here and here.
I don't know why.
Yeah. So you hit it right in the center.
Hit it right. It never went around it. Yeah, you could see all the cracking there. Yeah. Well, I had it all.
Yeah.
I had it all redone, but fiberglass is like that.
Right.
That stuff will come back unless you get it all the way down through the gel coat. That's why that's. You notice the rest of the car is fine.
Oh, it's beautiful. Yeah, this is actually not bad at all for 50 years.
That's right.
I mean, it's been a long time. Did it come with taillights, or did you?
I
wonder if it came. They're old Pontiac taillights. Yeah. I just didn't know if Bill, because if sometimes you could buy them as an accessory, they're really made for them.
Yeah, but it fits that body. Yeah. I think the lights were on it.
Yeah, this came with it too, though. These are the Lincoln Continental Lincoln Zephyr push buttons.
The headlights and taillights, I believe, were on it. Okay.
Someone put those cool.
I did that.
What are they from?
Buick.
Oh, what year Buick?
Probably around 53.
Okay. Was the grill in it also a Howler?
Yes.
The grill was in it.
That's their grill, yeah.
Interesting. So this must have been earlier. He did a different grill later on.
Oh, did he? No,
yeah.
That's the original. That came with.
So that came with it along with the headlights.
With the headlights, the grill. I had to use my MG bumpers.
Right. Something's wrong with the hood pull. And so we have yet to open the hood. It hasn't been opened in 50 years.
Oh, is that right?
We'll try to get it open for Boca.
I was wondering if this is the one that I had the coffin valve cover on. You know, a cast aluminum cover.
Yeah.
And
well, Tony hasn't done anything. I guess we won't know until we pull it up in the garage and get the.
Oh shucks, I would like to see that.
Oh, we could try working on it and put me to work. Take a little break for a sec. The car is like a time capsule. Since Tony put it in the garage, it may be.
Other than that color, it was. I had it maroon, metallic. Got a real dark metallic maroon.
It's one of the most original cars from the 50s, specials ever found. It may be the most original one ever found. As we look through them all, because most of them, the fiberglass specials weren't cared for very well, and so they end up on fences and farms and God knows where. People saved them, but they didn't care for them. But this one, Tony tucked away in his garage, and
it is a time capsule.
Yeah. Right. These are the two pictures that you made copies of. These are really interesting. Let me hold those for a second. These are the only two you have of the car back then?
The only ones.
Did you used to?
I didn't realize I had that one. I thought that was the only one.
Okay, let me turn it so I can show the camera here. There we go.
You see in the background? There's the other MG.
Oh, okay. Now that's that's the old one.
No, that's really the new one there that I haven't rebuilt yet.
I see, okay.
See, it's just got a body setting on it. But that's the other chassis.
Where is this garage?
In 120, it's still there. Morris Street.
Okay.
In Niles.
Okay, is that far from where?
That garage is still there.
Did you belong to any car clubs at the time?
Yeah, the Penn Ohio Sports Car Club.
With your MG and with this car, or just the MG?
Yeah, both of them.
Okay, might be some old pictures in it. I wonder if that club is still around.
I still have my license plate badge.
Oh, how fun!
Yeah. The wheel with the spoked wheel with the Penn Ohio logo.
Did you ever do anything with the soup up the engine, hop up the engine at all? Okay.
No, other than put. There again, I'm not sure if this is the one I put the gingerbread on the outside. I know I have it on the other one.
Well, I
Uh,
may go under here. I may try to open that up before we leave.
now, didn't I hear that he had a noise in the engine when he
Yeah.
quit using it?
Yeah, there was something wrong with the engine,
Yeah.
and then he put it away. And that's how I found him with the ad. I was starting to call people in the back of magazines to look for history of their family's cars. And here it is, Tony Spalvieri, he's selling this car, and I figured I reached Tony. It's easy to find someone named Tony Spalvieri in Niles, Ohio. So I called him up, and I was talking about the history of the car, and he was real helpful, and he said, I said, well, do you have any pictures of the engine? He goes, no, but I can get them. And that was kind of confusing. He said, oh, I still have the car. So when we bought the car, I had Tony sign the road and track. He goes, the ad worked 60 years later. So he, so he signed.
You tracked it down from that end.
Yeah, from the
in
end.
an old magazine.
Road and track, yeah.
That was a long shot, you know.
Well, I wasn't trying to find the car. I was trying to find history.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Just history.
Yeah, just history, pictures and so forth.
I cannot remember what I sold it for. I don't remember. I just don't.
Well, Tony was asking 1,500. No, but the ad showed 1,500, so I imagine it was somewhere around 1,500 or so. That's what he was asking back then. He charged me more.
Yeah. You got a good buy on it then.
Oh, it's a beautiful car. We're honored to have it.